Question.
Did man make God or did God make man?
Okay, great question.
What this guy means is that, did man create the idea that there is a God out there? Or does God really exist? Embark with me on a journey of learning as we watch Cliffe knetchle, Embark Atheism. This is Cliffe vs. Student.
Is how are we supposed to believe something that happened way back then? Like, if I'm going to school or whatever, and I'm thinking, well, it's physically impossible for anybody to raise from the dead, because once you die, your physical disintegrates. So how's your physical gonna come back to life?
Great question. Yes, sir, I'm with you. If there is no supernatural God, it is stupid to think that anybody rose from the dead. Because you're right. If there is no supernatural God, all of reality is matter and energy.
Right.
But you see, my point is, if there is a supernatural God, then this God who created life could certainly change some natural laws, perform a miracle.
So, but don't it say in the Bible also that the dead know nothing?
Psalms talk about that.
So, if the dead know nothing, how do we know what comes after death?
Good. The only way I'm going to know what comes after death is if there's a supernatural God who reveals to me that there's something after death. If there's no supernatural God, then obviously when we die, we rot.
Right.
And that's the whole story. But you see, if there's a supernatural God, then it's possible that there's life after death.
But did man make God or did God make man?
Okay, great question. I think it's real clear that at times, man makes up God. You know what I'm talking about. God's a white man. That's why we white folks are superior to you black folks. That's a man-made God. That's a joke. That's God based on my own prejudices, my own racist attitudes. And that's going on too frequently. That's sick. That's evil. That's warped. That's idolatry.
Okay, and did...
But wait a minute. But just because people do that doesn't mean that in reality there's not a supernatural God.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So now the question becomes, what's the evidence that there is a supernatural God? And I would argue the evidence that God exists is very similar to the evidence that you have a rational mind. See, I can't prove that you have a rational mind. But why am I convinced you have a rational mind? Because the way you dress yourself, because the way you speak to me in articulate, orderly speech.
Right.
That's why I'm convinced that between your two handsome ears, there's a rational mind. I can't prove God, but there's so much order in the creation. The human eye, central nervous system. There's got to be an intelligent mind behind it.
Okay, so I got another question.
Yes, sir.
My thing is, I look at it as man making good and evil. So, therefore, my sins are different from everybody else's sins. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, good. Do you really believe that slavery in the United States was wrong because we human beings now think it was wrong?
I mean, my thing basically with the Bible is, it say that all men are brothers or whatever. Whoop-de-whoop, okay? And if I'm separating you, if I'm not looking at you as being me, then therefore, I'm committing a sin against myself or yourself. You see what I'm saying?
I hear you. But see, my question remains. Do you think that slavery is wrong just because we get together and say slavery's wrong? Or do you think that slavery is absolutely evil?
I think it's absolutely evil.
Thank you. So do I. Okay, now, the only way there can be an absolute evil is if there is some type of God to create and define the value of justice.
Right.
There's got to be some type of God who gives you value, the same value he gives to me.
But the thing is, I don't think everybody must, if you think about it, everybody must see alike in order to be alike. So if I'm looking at you as being inferior to me, I'm going to put you down because you're not me. And the thing is, like I said, to me, the Bible is just about all men are brothers, and how can we be brothers or whatever, whoop-de-whoop, if I make slavery or some other, or money and put you down in poverty or anything, I'm separating myself from everybody else. So therefore, it's always, we're in this war and we born in sin. We born in with inequality. That's basically the main thing. We look at each other as being different when we were all alike in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Okay, but you see, my point is this. All of what you've just said is based on there being a God.
Right.
Because see, sir, if there is no God, what am I? I'm an accidental collection of atoms.
Right.
I am a monkey evolved to a higher order. And that's all you are, if there is no God. Our value is absurd. We're accidents, if there is no God. But you see, if there is a God who's created you and me for a purpose, then you and I have value. Which means for me to dehumanize you through racism, through slavery, is absolutely evil.
Right.
Not evil because I'm an intelligent white Westerner and I say, oh man, racism's not cool. That's not why it's wrong. It's wrong because racism and slavery are a denigration, a devaluing of human beings who God has given an innate value to. That's why it's wrong, in an absolute sense. See, come on, think with me. Those white slaveholders, they had reasons why they had slaves. Those slaves made them prosper financially.
Right.
It worked financially for them.
Right.
So they had good reason to maintain slavery. And if morality is simply based on our reasons, boy, we are in a lot of trouble. I'm standing here saying we all know better than that. We know that slavery is wrong, not just because Americans took a vote and fought a civil war. We know that it's wrong because slavery is a violation of the value and dignity of a human being who's created in the image of God. That's why it's wrong. And if the South would have won the Civil War, that doesn't change the fact that slavery's wrong. In other words, because there's a God who has defined moral absolutes, morality doesn't come out of the barrel of a gun. Powerful, evil people can win, but that doesn't make them right.
The world makes more sense with God in it. The creation is evidence that there is a creator. This is part of what I've learned from this video, and I believe that you have also learned something. So don't hesitate. Just comment down your thoughts on this and share it with someone, anyone who you might think that they need this. Because he said he's gonna come like a thief in the night. So in that manner, they won't have any excuse, not even one, because you shared this with them. I love you guys and see you in the next video.